Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and I'm a little tardy to the party, I agree, but to be honest with you, my OnlyFans is finally dead, ladies and gentlemen. I think so. Now, I basically, in a video a long time ago at this point, I talked about Family Guy. You guys put me into Family Guy, like, oh, paid! Alright, like, I sat down there, and you put me in there, okay? Y'all drew me up. Now, in that video, I said if I get like 100,000 likes or something, I'll make an OnlyFans. I actually, ladies and gentlemen, have been running an experiment in the background, okay? Now, I basically have been watching a lot of these, like, news feeds pop up on the internet where, like, some creators are making over $1 million a month. I think, like, that Karina Kampf chick was making, like, $1 million a month on OnlyFans, okay? It is a very lucrative business. I don't know why I went Scottish there for a second. Or god damn. But ladies and gentlemen, I was uploading feet pictures, okay? At some point I was putting my toes and little piggies in the mud. I even stepped in peanut butter, if you will, too. I made peanut butter and jelly smackles. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I can really do that anymore because OnlyFans, for those of you who have no idea, has decided to change its terms of service. And I might be wondering, on a site where it was effectively popularized by people flicking their bean, what do you think that they would go after? Flicking your bean. Apparently you cannot upload any form of sexualized explicit conduct on their website. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this real quick. Now, ladies and gentlemen, OnlyFans, all right, has seen its biggest growth in like the last year. Because of the pandemic and us being locked inside, a lot of people have decided to jump into OnlyFans, right? Now, OnlyFans is a difficult thing to get started. You either have to have some clout or you get really lucky to jump into it. Now, OnlyFans, from what I've realized, off topic, by the way, there's something that I've noticed. If you make free versions of OnlyFans and then you goad people in through a sub that way, you might release like a halfway titillating photo. Then you release a $30 set of 4 pictures where you're like squirting like Niagara Falls, and somehow that makes you the bank. All right, off topic. It has parallels to like the drug industry in a way. But ladies and gentlemen, back again on topic. OnlyFans recently changed their TOS, right? So no more flicking the bean, it seems. Now this kind of spread some pandemonium. It broke the internet for a little bit. I actually couldn't believe it. The only reason this video has taken me longer is because I don't want to jump the gun on something. I want to research it and I want to understand it. So yes, I did in fact research OnlyFans, okay? As a scientist myself, I used the scientific method to uncover the realities. Now, of course, on OnlyFans Twitter page, all right, they basically said, "Dear workers, the OnlyFans community would not be what it is today without you." Fact amundo. All right, without people who are basically sharing titillating photos on the internet, OnlyFans would just be some dead Patreon alternative, okay? The policy change was necessary to secure banking and payment services to support you. Oh, we'll get onto that in a little bit, actually. I actually have some history with this, by the way, too. I think I was on the cutting edge of this for a while. We are working around the clock to come up with solutions. Now, of course, let's go to OnlyFans' acceptable use policy, all right? Now, I can tell you right now, this is actually their use policy. Because if you look at the top, it's HTTPS, which is HTTP secure, onlyfans.com/AUP. So we're not dicking around here. I'll hit the refresh right there. And bam, here we go. We're back to the front. Now, by using our website, you agree to this policy, okay? So here they've got, number 5, which is the most important. Do not upload, post, display, or publish content on OnlyFans that, letter A, any individual under 18. So that's obviously a given. That's anywhere you're gonna go. Okay, that's par for the course. Now D, we're jumping straight to the D because we're giving the creators the D. Shows, promotes, advertises, or refers to sexually explicit conduct. So what does that mean? Well, initially I thought it meant like pee-pee and poo-poo because they mentioned things like scatological. Sometimes they mention bestiality, so all y'all Twitter zoos can't get it going, okay? But it turns out they actually include actual or simulated intercourse, including genital, oral, whatever you want to call it. So basically, any form of like sexually explicit content is all of a sudden gone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what kind of content do you think was primarily on OnlyFans? Do you think it was cooking videos? Do you think it was some Indian guy putting VMs on there? Because that also was up there for a little bit. That still is potentially up there. You'll never find my OnlyFans. Trust me, you never will. I promise you. But, most of the content was people doing exactly what they changed in their acceptable use policy, okay? You will not believe the amount of gangbang queens that I've seen on this site, okay? At this point, that was as disputed as a title as #1 realtor in your area, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, the kind of content that OnlyFans was providing was specialized, titillating content to people who were willing to pay a monthly subscription for it. Now, me personally, I don't really see a reason for it. I usually thought the site was a litmus test, like, hey, do you know how Google works? Okay, you figured it out. Don't worry about it, bro. But there were people who made their living off of the site. Basically, people built a business and a brand on OnlyFans, and all of a sudden, rented land, pulled the rug underneath them, and now those people have to scatter and find any other form of revenue service that'll accept the content that they make. Now, earlier in the video, they mentioned things like, payment processors, and they're actually not half wrong. Way back in the day, not way back in the day, but like a year ago, I made a video regarding Trafficking Hub, which was a serious issue. Very recently, YouTube actually age restricted that video, which kind of surprises me because that video was pretty heavy. Like, honestly, after I made that video, I didn't want to make any more videos. I felt like really disgusted with myself, and just even before that video, I went like full nofap. So like basically, I don't even like do any of this. I joke about it, but I abstain as far as I can from adult content because like there was a period of my time where I was like a permacoomer, and once I stepped away from that, healthiest decision of my life. Okay, but anyways, here is Mastercard's newsroom, right? So if you don't know, there are two payment processors that pretty much everyone is forced to use, Visa or Mastercard. The rules that these two make disseminate into every online service, okay? If you don't play by their rules, you're going to have a bad time running a business because without Visa and Mastercard, a huge chunk of your potential revenue goes out the window. Now, before somebody says, but Mula, why don't you make your own payment processor? You trust me, I would if I could. That is a lucrative market, okay? You can't. But here you've got a Mastercard article, all right? So a news briefing that they made during this year, by the way, where they basically said that they're enhancing requirements for adult content, preventing anonymous content, if you will. So the requirements include that you have documented age and identity verification, content review process prior to publication, complaint resolution process that addresses illegal or non-consensual content, and appeals process allowing for any person depicted to request their content be removed. So off the bat, these are actually pretty simple requirements, okay? And they're requirements that I actually don't even disagree with. Now, back when we were covering Trafficking Hub, these massive tube sites where they have the largest amount of generated traffic ever, adult tube sites, were pretty much not taking these exact requirements to heart, okay? Now, for a while, it was like the Wild West, if you will, right, on these tube sites. And after Mastercard, PayPal, and a lot of these payment processors stepped in before the cops ever could, these people had to wipe a shit ton of content off their website, a lot of it which genuinely was unverified. They had to require verification of every performer uploading to their website. These are things that I don't necessarily agree with. These are record-keeping laws that any person in the industry has to follow anyways. Now, the problem that I have over here with this is that OnlyFans was a place where the individual could do whatever it is that they wanted. Usually, the adult industry is very predatory on the performer, okay? Meaning that if you're a guy or a girl in it, you're just being used and you're getting paid absolutely nothing if you're working with the big people in the project. What OnlyFans did is it allowed people to branch out into the individual, like, hey, if I'm going to be performing, I should be making the lion's share from my labor. And that's effectively a sentiment that I think most people can agree with. And genuinely in the entertainment industry, everyone screws everyone. The big record producers, the big people in the top of the media industry are always constantly stifling and screwing over the artists that are basically producing the content that is then sold to the mass consumer. Now, in OnlyFans' case, all right, this is a site that actually did start out as a Patreon alternative. Now, of course, it was effectively just hijacked by adult performers anyways. And OnlyFans didn't stop it for the longest time. I mean, why would they? They were making a crap ton of cash off of the backs of people that effectively built their brand on top of OnlyFans, propelling OnlyFans to this massive height. Now, OnlyFans, from what I've understood, is trying to seek investments, right? And they're actually having a pretty hard time because what venture capital funding does, if you ever heard of that, basically a lot of these tech firms, a lot of these .com companies will go to VCs to get like 40, 50, $100 million so that they can reinvest into themselves and hopefully balloon their market capitalization like fucking to the roof in like 5 or 6 years. So from what I understand, OnlyFans tried to do that, but because they were associating themselves with adult content, regardless of how adult it was, you know, sometimes you come across like tame content, and then sometimes it's like, hey, that guy's like crapping into another dude's mouth, okay? Like, hey, these are two girls crapping into a cup and eating ice cream, okay? We can't have that. So effectively what was going on with OnlyFans is that they weren't able to get the funding because they were in that market. So I assume what had to happen over here was, in order to get that sweet juicy VC funding, they had to effectively screw over the people that put them where they are, right? And that's what's really fucked up. The other thing is, yes, the payment processors are a concern. Visa and Mastercard have a vice grip on anybody. If anybody can actually cancel someone, it's these two companies, all right? Because getting canceled these days in social media means nothing. Getting canceled by the payment processor like Mastercard or Visa can absolutely destroy someone's career, because this is sort of the chokehold in the online sphere, right? Now, of course, there are solutions later on for it, but right now, this is the best that we have. So again, going back to OnlyFans' nonsense, ladies and gentlemen, people have compared this to Tumblr, right? And Tumblr used to have like a massive amount of adult content, and as soon as they shied away from that, their site effectively just died. Now, the reality of all of that is that at least Tumblr had memes. At least people shitposted on Tumblr. I don't even see that on OnlyFans. For the most part, it's just adult-oriented content. Even times where celebrities jump onto OnlyFans, there's like this implicit expectation that they're going to be releasing adult content. When that one girl, Bella Thorne, showed up and made a killing, and then apparently she didn't like titillate the senses of all of her OnlyFans subscribers, they were just mass refunding, mass like refunding on their credit cards, and OnlyFans had to like crap themselves. I think this actually changed the payment structure for all the regular people out there. So even when someone from outside the adult industry enters OnlyFans, everyone expects them to make adult content, because guess what, guys? That's what OnlyFans is known for. So OnlyFans basically axing off the people that put it where it is not only screwing off the income that they make right now, but they better have the most solid plan in existence to get celebrities, to get outside people, and start really divvying up their content and making sure that that content is what people really want to end up paying for. Because let me tell you something about adult content. People are more willing to pay for adult content than they are some random cooking video or some random different, safe for work content out there. It's just how this industry works. So the fact that OnlyFans is really going down on this, honestly, by November, which would be like a month after when these regs kick in, they're probably going to start seeing some fucking tumbleweeds on their website. This might actually be the death of OnlyFans. And what a death it shall be, ladies and gentlemen. There used to be a saying or something like, what is it like? You won't go out with a bang, you'll go out with a whimper or something. This is the whimper, okay? Basically, once this regulation kicks in, this site is going to be a slow decline to nothing. Unless, of course, OnlyFans does have a plan and they decide to triple their valuation. They really do get differing content. But even in that case, the people that are going to be most affected by this are the individuals in the adult industry and the independent actors and actresses. And the problem with that is, listen, no matter what you think about that content, I find it very hypocritical when people consume adult content, but then they vilify it at the same time. Look, I don't consume it. I don't care about it. But genuinely, I care about the safety and well-being of anybody working in any sphere, right? If people are going to be making content like that, I feel like there should be a place where they're allowed to make their lion's share of their own labor, and it is what it is, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, that being said, though, I also care a lot about potentially illegal, videos being uploaded. That's something that I really do care about. So again, I'm kind of split between the middle as to like what I truly feel. Do I want everyone to be safe? Yes. Do I want people who are performing to have like the lion's share of whatever the fuck they earn? Yes. Do I want there to be more stringent checks on a lot of these adult websites? Yes, because some of them have proven from time to time that they do a very terrible job of managing it on their own. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am